what is behind your F behind the AIA, and what's everything you've been doing within the AIA since you've got back to the States?
Wow. Those are two really big
They're big.
pieces.
That's why I figured start with fellow, or if you want to build up to fellow, if it's a better story.
Yeah. Well, I think you could probably guess what my fellow focus was. It serves to society. And because of the work that I do, that was an easy story to tell. And becoming a fellow, it's wonderful because it validates among your peers that, the work that I've been doing, although in my case, my work is a little odd compared to, or it's a little off the beaten path to what a normal office does. But to get that validation of you've done some work that has had impact, and it's really about impact, less about the award, but just so people understand that you can have impact with this trajectory was really the get for that F. And it's been a wonderful journey to get there. But the leadership side, the assumption is when I was going for my fellowship that because you've done so much leadership that you're going to go for leadership at the Institute.
Mm-hmm. Leadership. That's where I was going to say either community based or within the association, because I know that's a category as well. So I was curious which one, because you're very strong in both, at least in my opinion. Yeah. But
thank you.
Anyway,
well, the leadership to me is the mechanism to actually make things happen. But your passion for what you're doing is rooted in something else. And so, yes, I enjoy taking on the leadership role, but the leadership is to do what? And for me, the what has been to help communities. And so the result of helping communities is what resonates. In terms of leadership, you're right. When I came back to the U.S., I knew that after I met my future wife that, I'm not going to be heading back to Europe. I have a whole network there. So I went to an AI mixer, and that very first AI mixer, as a young associate member, the local component president at the time, she tapped me on the shoulder, introduced herself. Margaret Helfand was her name, amazing woman, incredible architect. And she challenged me to get involved. And so I did, and she's unfortunately long since passed away, but that started me on a journey to create these constituencies and networks and meet all these amazing people. And from that era, from that time forward, I volunteered as on committees like many do, and became a committee chair, and then on to local board service. And along the way, the YAF was part of my journey. The Young Architects Forum, one of the best things that I've ever done. The people that I served with are still my friends. They're still my colleagues. We're struggling. The best thing about that, you're in an age with the same group of people struggling with the same kind of issues, and the sharing has never stopped. That support network of mine, they're great. And from that service, I eventually got to a place where I did serve in 2021 as the state president for New York, and that to me is amazing. I love the 13 components that we have. Some completely unstaffed, others staffed, but the camaraderie around the state and how we try to lift each other up was extraordinary. And I was during COVID. I was one of the presidents during COVID. So that took on a whole nother complexion. And that's where my disaster training and resilience side, coupled with my experience in leadership, we created a task force. It was the Unified Task Force City and State. We won a Component Excellence Award for it. But the true story, aside from the award, we activated all 13 components. We worked with the city and state governing bodies. Everybody that needed our help, including the Department of State, asked us to identify buildings for the bed surge. In 24 hours, we had 1,000 buildings across the state from our members that found all of this information for the state so we could handle the coming onslaught. We helped, we wrote all the guidelines for outdoor dining, retrofit of buildings for safe interiors with air handling and quality. We did work for micro manufacturing of PPE equipment from all of the offices across the state. If you had a 3D printer in your office, you were making PPE by our standards that we helped gather from this task force, and we were giving them to the fire department and to the healthcare workers. So that whole effort lasted when I was president-elect and through my presidency to really help the state of New York. And I'm very proud of that, because the number of members that came forward, the new leaders that came forward, was extraordinary. So that's a big piece of my journey. And it seems like I'm always in this place where these events or all the disruptions bring out the best in many people around me, and they bring out the leader in me. Hurricane Sandy was another one. I was with AI New York chapter when Hurricane Sandy hit. Based on the work that I was doing in transforming my office, I was working with city government and working in the disaster relief areas at the emergency relief centers, and I brought the AIA with me. And from there, we sort of have never stopped helping the city understanding what resilience looks like. So I guess those local things put me in a place to move on to national. And in 2016, I was on the Strategic Council until 2018. Another amazing thing. I liken that to my years with the YIF, because the people that you're working with and the study, it was all about research to advance the profession in areas that it's never thought about or were just coming up, whether it was new technologies or in my case, it was about resilience and sustainability. And that was really wonderful. I truly enjoyed that. But and now I'm on the national board. I was great. I was in a great position to be elected just over a year ago. I'm in my second year of my term as a at-large director. And in this role, they've recognized my value of some of the things we're talking about. I was the chair of the COP28 delegation going to Dubai, really advancing who we are as architects, introducing folks to the fact that we have a role to play in climate action. And I've also been the chair of Cicada. Now, cicada is a weird thing. You think about, when I heard cicada, I think about the
bug,
the insect. Yeah. But cicada stands for, in AIA terms, is the Committee on Climate Action and Design Excellence. So that's an amazing group of folks that we work on the framework for design excellence. We work with a lot of great committees like the COAT committee and whatnot, that we're really trying to move things along in a much, much better way for all members. Again, lifting all boats. So this seems to be a theme. So I'm glad you hit on this, because now I'm kind of realizing, all the things that I do in practice and I do with these communities that I'm very interested in, I'm trying to do the same thing inside our profession to raise all boats and really gather the forces of these amazing people that we're working with to accomplish that.
I hope you enjoyed our discussion today. Learn some advice to take with you and see how our industry is all tied together to create the world around us. Check out the description below for any links or resources we discussed. If you liked the episode, please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up and leave a comment below. It really helps others be able to discover this resource and support finding that career path that best works for them. If you know someone that has inspired your own career that you'd like me to interview, let me know in the comments below, or you can reach out to me via my website or LinkedIn. I'd be happy to share their story or your own. Thank you again, and I cannot wait for the next career story I get to share with you next week.